Hello and welcome back to the Quick Slant on Green Bay Packer Nation. Today we're doing Rants and Raves from the Packers versus the Bears. So my first, of course, we're going to start with the Raves. We always do because I'm kind of a glass half full kind of guy, and I think it's just better to focus on the positives in life. So let's start out with the Raves, and of course, the big headliner of all the Raves is Brett Hundley taking another step forward in his role as Packers starting quarterback. Coming into this game, I'm going to be honest, I picked the Packers to lose this game mostly because it was at Soldier Field, and playing at Soldier Field can be difficult for any quarterback, for any team, especially when you're talking the Packers-Bears rivalry and the Bears' chance to tie up this rivalry again. I really thought that they might edge us out. I thought it was going to be a close game. I figured it was going to be, a 9-3 game. But the Packers did, in my estimation, an outstanding job in light of the situation. So, Brett really did take a step forward. He started to get in sync with these receivers. Beautiful throws to Devontae Adams and connecting with Jordy Nelson. Randall Cobb in the Wildcat formation wasn't real pleased about that. I'm hoping that Brett's hamstring injury isn't serious. He doesn't talk like it's serious, but I thought he did a great job. I haven't gone back to look to validate it, but I have heard that in the fourth quarter, Brett Hundley had the highest passer rating you could have. So, that's saying something coming into this game. Now, there was a lot of people that were down on Brett in the past two games especially, because he really didn't function well. He didn't execute very well. I still, even though he didn't execute well in those games, I still saw a lot of room for improvement, which gave us hope. So, and he did take another big step forward, which is what we need to get through this stretch. We all know that Brett Hundley is not the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, and we're just trying to eke enough wins to make the playoffs so that if Aaron can come back, then we'll have a chance to make a playoff run. So Brett Hundley's definitely my number one rave. I also have a rave for Nick Perry. 2 sacks on a single drive and 3 total sacks. This is the kind of thing that we paid Perry the big bucks to do. This is why we re-signed him, is because he was going to be the edge rusher opposite Clay Matthews, and we were expecting as such that he was going to get some sacks, and he did so today. He did so this past game. He also did a real good job in run defense, so I've got to give kudos to Nick Perry. John Williams, the composer, Jamal Williams did a good job running the ball. I'm going to give him a rave just because he really worked his tail off in this game, and we needed something out of him after losing Aaron Jones, after Ty Montgomery re-injuring his ribs and having to leave. We really needed Williams to step up, and he did so in pretty good fashion. I'm still reserving my opinion on Williams as a whole yet, simply because it looked like his running was there was some vision there, but not the kind of vision that Aaron Jones has, and it was mostly a lot of just sheer determination, I would say. Which worked to our advantage, especially in some of these third down situations, which is my next rave. This game, the Packers had 44% conversion rate on third downs. Now, that's not enough. That's not outstanding by any means. But compared to last game's, 29%? Compared to last game's 29% conversion rate, this is a huge step forward in a very critical statistic. when we can convert those third downs, we all know that the ball keeps moving down the field when we do that. And it puts us in position to at least score field goals, if not punch the ball in the end zone. So the fact that we were able to convert 44% of our third downs was important, but what was most important about that stat to me is that we did it against a very good defense. That, I think, we need to keep in the back of our minds when we think about, when we contemplate the game against the Bears, is the fact that the Bears suck always, even when they're good. But the Bears have a bad team this year and are losing games, but it's not because of their defense. They have a top... it's a top 10 defense for sure. I want to say it's a top 5 defense. And that is very encouraging that Brett and company were able to generate 44% conversion rate on third down against a very good defense. So we're going to be coming up against some teams that we should continue to beat because they don't have this kind of defense. We put up 23 points against the Bears defense, a really good, a really quality defense. I wouldn't say it's a top tier defense like the Denver Broncos, but it's a very good defense, and we did a great job against them and scored 23 points against them. So I'm pretty pumped about that as well. And keep in mind that is a rookie running back and a brand new starting quarterback that is doing that kind of stuff. Now, let's move on to the rants, because I have a few of those. Not a whole lot of rants, because quite honestly, I just came out of this game with a really good feeling about the team and our potential to pick off enough wins to get into the playoffs. But there are a couple of rants that I have. The first and foremost is the field goal / extra point situation. We're really struggling in that. Mason hit 3 of 4, and of course, the big miss with the misheld ball, but also he rang the bell on one, which just happened to go through. So of the 4 kicks that Mason did today, this game, there was only 2 that were really clean, and that is a problem. If we've got Aaron Rodgers at the helm, we're not so worried about that kind of stuff. Really, Mason Crosby being able to put a 50-yard field goal through is a luxury if we've got Aaron Rodgers at the helm. That's because he can just shift it into high gear, and it's almost like nobody can stop him. But with Brett Hundley at the helm, these field goals can make or break, can be the difference between a win or a loss. So we have got to clean those up, and what bothers me most about the struggles we had against the Bears in that department is that it's not been just recent. This has been going on for a while, and they haven't seemed to be able to fix the problem. So that is a big rant for me, a real scary situation as far as I'm concerned. Our defensive backs are still suspect. We gave up some pretty big plays against a rookie quarterback who, up until this game, really has not been given the opportunity to throw the ball a whole lot. So that's a concern of mine. We did enough to shut him down, but we gave up 268 yards of passing against Mitch Trubisky. And now I will say, and we should take that with a grain of salt, because I was shocked at the Trubisky pick by the Bears, as high as it was, but he does look like he can be a solid quarterback for the Bears for a long time. So we're going to have to keep an eye on him. We're going to meet him several times, and he could be problems for us in the future. But we did a kind of a shaky job trying to rein him in this game. Tight end blocking. Our tight end blocking was atrocious. Now, don't mishear me. I do not think we want Martellus Bennett back. That was just a cancer that was waiting to happen. He's very reporters love him because he's outgoing, he's outspoken, and it's just a great chance for them to get a great interview, get some great sound bites, things like that. He's got a lot of charisma, but and he did an outstanding job blocking, but the recent development, I just don't think we want him on the field. However, that means that we're stuck with Lance Kendricks and Richard Rodgers. And, my brother Brady has been railing on his live Facebook show, which incidentally airs at 10 a.m. Eastern Time every day except Saturday. So if you want to catch that live show, it's at facebook.com/Green Bay Packer Nation, and you can catch that live show at 10 a.m. Eastern Time every day. But he's been railing about how Richard Rodgers is just not a good blocker. He has great hands, and he does a great job downfield, but he is not a blocker. And once again, in this game, he was falling all over the place in an attempt to block for the run. Lance Kendricks is, I think, a step up, but still has a lot of... He fails in that area a lot. I'm not even sure that I want to say he has a lot of room for growth, because Kendricks has been in the league for quite some time, and I think he's had a chance, pretty much every chance available, to grow in that area. I'm afraid that the blocking ability that Lance Kendricks has is the blocking ability we can expect from Lance Kendricks. Now, I might be wrong. Our tight end coaches might be able to give him some tips that really make things click for him, which would be awesome, because he's also very good downfield, and he's a big target, and he got sure hands, things like that. So, but that's definitely one of my rants, is the lack of ability for our tight ends to block. And lastly, my last rant is maybe not so much a rant as it is a question. And I'm going to pop up a poll probably up here. I'll put up a poll to see what you guys think. But my question is, did the Packers really beat the Bears, or did the Bears just lose this game by missed opportunities? They had 8 penalties for 78 yards. That's not good, and a lot of those killed drives. So that's going to be interesting to watch in the games coming forward. But I think it is a question that we need to ask ourselves: Did the Bears just shoot themselves in the foot in Soldier Field and miss an opportunity to tie up this rivalry, or did the Packers really just do what they needed to do, and would the outcome have been the same had the penalties been a little more closely aligned? That said, we're going to be looking forward to the next game. We have several games coming up that we should win. We have several games coming up that are going to be difficult, and we may not win, but I think, judging from what we did in this game, I think we have the potential to win any of the games coming up. So that does it for our rants and raves for this Packers-Bears rivalry. If you're new here, definitely jump in, hit the subscribe button, and hit that little bell notification so you get notified every time we post a new video. You'll see my quick slant, my brother's out of breath and arm sore Packer minute, where he walks around the neighborhood and talks about the Packers. And we would love to have you join us. Jump down in the comments below and let us know what you thought about this game and what you think it means for games coming forward. Until then, go Pack.